Hi, I'm Jacqueline.
And I'm Courtney, and this is Caffeinated Crimes.
I thought of something that I was going to talk about earlier, and now it is completely gone from my brain. It does not exist.
It's gone. It evaporated.
Yes,
It went into the ether.
it did. But look at these adorable reindeer antlers that my daughter made in preschool today.
Oh, those are cute.
So they like cut out their hand and
Oh, and then made like a little
yep.
thing.
And so
That's
so she
cute.
was she was Rudolph here. I know this is not a video podcast, but it says Rudolph on her little thing, and so all the kids were a different reindeer. So she got to be Rudolph, and her teacher wrote it on there in glue, and then they got to like sprinkle the glitter on it and then shake it off.
Yeah.
Which I also realized as I was putting her to bed, and she did not get a bath tonight because it was a busy night and we were running on a tight schedule. But there was glitter glue in her hair, and I was like, well, that's tomorrow's problem. So.
That's
That's
not
how
today's
my
problem.
nope, that's how my
It's
parenting is
because she's
going
the
this
only
week.
girl in her class, and they're like, well, I guess we got to give her Rudolph.
Right, like she has to be Rudolph.
Yeah. Makes the most sense.
Exactly. So, yeah.
By the time you're hearing this, it will be. We did not make any social media posts for our episode today.
We had an episode today. Oh no.
That is the
Um
first time we've both forgotten.
our shared brain cell was not
Oh my
operating
God, no.
today.
This morning I opened my Spotify, I saw it and I clicked and I was like, I need to remember to do that. And until I was like, when does this episode come out? It all rushed back to
Oh
me
my gosh. Which is so funny because like we record on the days that our episodes come out so that it's easy to remember.
on my planner that's currently covered with my Christmas list.
I was like, mine is currently covered with these antlers, but I do have written on it today the episode that comes out.
Oh my God. Okay, well, by the time you're
Whoopsie.
hearing this, maybe there'll be a social media post for that episode and this episode, but it'll almost be Christmas when you're listening to this episode, which,
Oh my goodness. Merry
oh,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I can't believe we did that. Almost 5.5 years
I
it's
can't
been.
believe we both forgot. Like, it's
Yeah.
so rare that we both
Yes.
forget.
And we've never both forgotten to this late in the day. I think we've gotten to like noon before and been like, oh shit. But here it is at 9:20 p.m.
Oh my gosh. So
Whoopsie.
you guys can see in real time.
Well,
Oh, this is why podcasts have a social media manager.
yeah, yeah. It would be. Can you imagine if we had staff?
Oh my
Like,
Lord.
we could just be like, here's the episode. Can you edit it? Here's what I want to
See,
do. Can you research it? We just get to show up and
my
be the
only thing
personality.
is, my only thing is, the second that happens to podcasts, they all start sucking.
That is true.
Not
That is
sucking,
true.
sucking, but it's not the
They're
same.
not the same. Yeah, they lose that like genuine
Well, I
quality.
feel like too, when you like research an episode, you're then like, oh my God, can you believe this? And I saw this little weird thing
Yeah,
versus like when you're just like, we can kind
reading
of see
it.
that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when, because like we alternate researching. So,
hmm
you have all these like little things where you're like, and I saw this and I saw that. And like, extra banter where nobody knows either of them except a researcher out somewhere?
Yeah, that's a good point. That is
But
true.
but the social media part, I would happily. The editing part, I hate editing. Editing is
See,
my least favorite part.
right now at this point in my life, I would rather edit than research because the research just takes so much brain capacity that like when I sit down and I'm just like, there's so much thinking involved, but like editing, I could just like listen. Oh no, fuck that word up, delete. Okay, zone out again. Oh
Yeah, I
nope,
don't
I heard
know.
something weird.
Something about editing, like I'm just like, ugh, ugh, because it's not like tedious, but it's so just like, all right, gotta listen to this
You don't need a lot of brain
again.
power. It's perfect for me right
Yeah, but all right, well that's our thing now. I'll do all the research, you do all the
Perfect.
editing.
I mean, that's pretty
Uh,
much what we do now, except for my one episode every other month or so.
but yeah, yeah. Wow, guys, sorry. This front of this episode got derailed because I was just trying to make something funny about Christmas, and then, well then,
Realize that we
um,
just dropped the ball, but that's okay. We're gonna get it out tonight, hopefully.
some
And
point, yeah.
the episode is out. That's all that matters. The episode's
You got the
there.
episode. Nobody looks at
Yeah,
the social media, let's be honest.
true, true.
Let's see. What is your guess on how many likes our last social media post got?
Maybe two.
One.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, one. One.
Was it my dad?
Four. Let me see. How do you see who liked it?
You know I
Without
don't even
liking
know
it.
anything because you roast me every time I do anything on social media in front of you.
Oopsie.
You're like, you
Um,
click that to do this. That's all you have to do is do this thing. And I'm like, oh, I was taking six
I want you to
steps.
know I saw something else that you did semi recently, and I was like, nope, she's gonna get mad at me if I point it out.
What did I do?
She's
What did I
gonna.
do?
You went all the way down like this to go to your camera, and I'm like, girl, there's a button right there.
But what about when it's locked though? Because like,
My phone
or
was
when it's
just locked.
or when it's not, I mean when it's not locked, like when your screen is open.
Yeah, but your screen wasn't open.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
I told you you were gonna get mad at me. I
I'm
didn't say
proud. I'm
nothing.
proud of you for holding your tongue. Thank you for keeping
I
that
was
to
like,
yourself.
"Mm, mm, mm, mm." It was. I don't know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. Paivi? Paivi. But the A has two dots over it.
Well, thank you, whoever you are. We appreciate
Yeah.
you paying attention to us on social media.
Yes. Yes, we really appreciate that. Anyway,
Yes, let's get into this because apparently we have nothing else to
yeah, I'm gonna
talk
get into
about.
this, but we're derailing already.
Whoopsie.
So this episode is a little bit different. I'll give a little bit of context with this one. This isn't like our traditional someone who went missing, someone who was murdered, anything like that. But basically, when we were at CrimeCon back in September, we attended this session that was kind of talking a lot about like AI and like online child predators and kind of all about that, like the new what's going on in the world today. And it gave a lot of information of like some resources that the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children or NCMEC have that we were like, we had no idea that they had this. And so we thought it would be a great idea to kind of compile that in a very like condensed version. Their website has so much stuff, so go look around because it is super fun just to look around at all the different resources they have. But we thought we would just kind of put together some stuff they have because I think it's great resources for like parents, for children, for anyone who like has children in their life or have, parent friends, anything like that. I think it'd be really like useful information of like resources that you might have not known existed. So our resources are missingkids.org, which is NCMEC's website, enslaverynow.org, the Child Rescue Coalition, um, a bill article from congress.gov, basically, and also another like Senate um, website for one of the Kennedys. I don't remember which Kennedy.
There's too many of them
There's
doing
too many.
doing the most out
John
there.
Kennedy. He's in Louisiana. I don't even know if he's related to the Kennedys, but he's a Kennedy. Um, but anyway, so the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is a private nonprofit 501c corporation whose goal is to find missing children, reduce child sexual exploitation, and prevent child victimization. So NCMEC, as we said, is like their nickname, works with families, law enforcement, victims, private industries, and the public to help achieve their goal. So Adam Walsh went missing in Florida in 1981, and we did do a deep dive on bonus 14 on our Patreon if you'd like to hear more about that case. Not trying to plug Patreon right here in the middle of the episode, but it is there if you want more of a deep dive. So, um,
Oops.
yeah, whoopsie. But basically a condensed version. I'll give you a little bit of background so you don't have to go pay only $3 to go listen. Um, So, 6-year-old Adam Walsh was at a Sears in Hollywood, Florida, and he was playing games with a few kids before being kicked out. So, when his mom came back to look for him, he was gone. Otis Toole confessed to the murder with great detail, but later like recanted. However, Florida police are still convinced like Otis Toole is the person who did it, but it's not like official. And in the wake of Adam's disappearance, his parents, John and Reeve Walsh, committed their lives to trying to raise awareness for missing children and bringing missing children home. So they created the Adam Walsh Outreach Center for Missing Children in Florida, and they tried to use it as a national resource for other families with missing children. So as the government grew, Congress enacted the Missing Children Act of 1982, which enabled the entry of missing children's information onto the FBI's National Crime Information Center, or the NCIC. Might also be, if you're a true crime fan, an abbreviation you hear often. So, President Ronald Reagan officially opened the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children in 1984, and in 1990, the Adam Walsh Outreach Center merged with NCMEC. So, NCMEC's website says that the Walshes founded NCMEC, but since it merged, I guess kind of both, So, like, they
Hmm.
inspired it, but I don't know if they're. It's kind of hard to find a lot of the history on it, to be honest. It's very brief, their history, like
Yeah.
NCMEC.
Which I feel like is surprising. I would think there would be more out there.
I thought on their website it would be like, here's a detail and a timeline, and it was just kind of like, it was created. It's like,
Hmm.
okay, cool, thanks.
Interesting.
Um, Either way, this happened. And they created this so that there could be a more organized national response to reports of missing and exploited children. So in 1998, NCMEC was able to create the cyber tip line. So they had started to receive a lot of reports relating to the online sexual exploitation of children, and a private donation allowed them to fully create the cyber tip line. So the cyber tip line provides an online mechanism for the public and electronic service providers to report incidences of suspected child sexual exploitation. And since it was created, it has received millions of reports. So we've kind of all heard of like NCMEC and their work, but when we attended CrimeCon in Denver, we sat in on a panel that discussed their most recent work regarding online predators. In this session, we learned a lot about their resources that we wanted to kind of share with our audience so they can inform themselves, their kids, kind of what I said at the beginning. I guess I put my spiel in here already, but you get it twice.
Sometimes it's worth repeating.
Sometimes people skip, they think we're still bantering.
Yes, that's true.
So the cyber tip line has expanded a lot over the years, and it's easier than ever to report child sexual exploitation. So once you report it, trained analysts will process the report and make it available to the appropriate law enforcement agency. So not only do they on their website have ways to report it, but also resources for victims. So under their Get Help tab, there's multiple resources, and one is a place to find emotional and peer support. And NCMEC also has master's level trained advocates who offer crisis intervention to families and provide resources to help them rebuild and reconnect. Because obviously, being a victim of sexual exploitation as a child is very hard. So, kind of being able to connect with other children who've gone through this, other families, kind of a way that they can have, like, a community and not feel so isolated and alone.
Hmm.
And they also have a peer support network called Team Hope that connects families to other families who've gone through similar experiences. So this can connect parents whose children are missing or exploited, as well as child victims of exploitation. So it's various different like relations to what has happened. Um, as we said, it started in 1998 and has more than 500 trained volunteers and has reached out to more than 102,000 for support. So it has helped a lot of people, you know, get together for that. Information is on the website, but you can also call 1-877-466-2632, extension 6117, or you can email gethelp@nicmic.org. And we'll put all that in the show notes. NCMEC can also help individuals connect with local therapists who specialize in working with family and survivors. So they have the Family Advocacy Outreach Network, or the FAON, and it is international and helps provide support in your local community. So the same number and email above can get you connected to that, so that it is international. That's not just in the US. NCMEC will also help families get into contact with local attorneys. A child whose sexually expletive photos or videos are shared online has a right to seek monetary restitution from all offenders who create, share, or possess these images and videos. Obviously, that's a lot to navigate and figure out, so NCMEC will walk you through the legal issues and connect you with an attorney who will work on your behalf. Again, that same phone number, email will connect you. And they also have various PDFs in different languages that have resources for support, assistance, and legal resources to kind of help understand because it's so hard to know like what you're entitled to as a victim. Like there's so much stuff you probably don't even like realize.
Yeah, and like how do you go about like accessing something like that? Like what is the
Hmm.
step one? What do you need? Who can help you
Yeah.
do that? Like just so much involved that they can really kind of guide you through step by step.
Yeah, because you know, it happens way too often, but it's also something people don't want to talk about. And it's also like you might not know of someone that's happened to, so it's kind of hard to relate to people like that way versus here it's like here's everything you need for this situation you're going through. So another amazing semi-newer resource that they have is all about removing your explicit content. So with today's ever-growing internet, a lot of children are getting targeted by online predators or even sometimes classmates and feel pressured to send explicit pictures. And obviously, you know, as a kid, even as an adult, you feel embarrassed, overwhelmed on what to do with your explicit photos that are now out there. Revenge porn is unfortunately a very large thing too for people in their like teen years, even into their 20s, and that's something you are ashamed of and like you don't want to talk about because it is still so stigmatized, I feel like. Even now, like you talk to people and they're like, "Well, why would you send that picture? Well, why would you do that?" Like
Hmm.
it's still very stigmatized. So NCMEC now has an anonymous resource that you can contact and they will work to get your photos down. So through their cyber tip line, you can go to the take it down option. So the take it down tool will go through online platforms to monitor your photos and videos. And then you can report those images directly to the social media platforms. So they have like tutorials for all the different apps on how to report the images. So it's like Facebook, Instagram, Imager, like Reddit, like all the different threads. And by using Take It Down, you can also be completely anonymous. They don't ask for your name, they don't ask for your parents' name, they don't ask for your contact information. Like you don't have to tell them anything. Um, and most kids, no matter the age, like don't really want to tell their parents. Photos of them may be out there. So this is a great tool to anonymously find ways to remove those. And if you go to NCMEC's website, it is under Get Help and then remove your explicit content tab. And I think that would be great just for parents to like share with kids and be like, I don't need to know, but here you go. Because,
Hmm.
you know, they might not feel comfortable telling you. It is something really hard to like talk about. So it's like, here you go. You can anonymously do it. You don't need me involved. Like,
Hmm.
because like legal recourse, like you have to have your parents involved with that. But like this of just getting it taken down, you can do completely anonymously.
Yeah, like you said, we learned about that at CrimeCon, and it was just such an amazing resource that we had no idea existed. And,
Hmm.
such a good thing to like be able to share with kids, like share with like nieces and nephews who, you can just be like, hey, by the way, like
Yeah.
any kid in your life that it's like you said, maybe they don't feel comfortable talking to their parents, and like you can kind of get ahead of it and let them know, hey, this is a resource that's available. Which also makes me wonder, like, what kind of outreach they're doing, like in schools and things. Like, are they, sharing
Yeah.
this like at like school assemblies? And I would hope so, but I'm sure they have an
Yeah. I
outreach
think
team
if
that takes care of that.
I'm sure too, it's like hard depending on the school too.
Yeah,
Like some schools might not even, you know, like if it's a heavily like Catholic school. I mean, not I'm
yeah,
not trying to point out, but like a Christian school, like any of those schools that are predominantly like very religious that like you would never do anything like that. Like
yeah,
they're not gonna
that's
be
true.
talking about that kind of stuff. So I really think it's like a great thing for people to know and like have because I mean, you see so many times like people kind of get pressured into sending these pictures and then it's used against them and then it feels like it's out there
Hmm.
forever. And like when you're a teenager and your frontal lobe's not developed, it feels like the end of the world. Like it
Yeah,
really does. So,
yeah,
you know,
absolutely. So the cyber tip line received 20.5 million reports in 2024. The cyber tip line also allows platforms to bundle related reports to streamline reporting on widespread incidents, so something like a viral meme. And this is down from 36.2 million reports in 2023. But in 2024, the bundling feature was implemented by Meta, which was one of the biggest reporters to the cyber tip line. So that could explain like that decrease between 2023 and 2024.
Yeah, and Meta is like Facebook and Instagram for if any of our listeners don't know what that is, because you might not. You might be like,
That,
what is
yeah,
that? I
that's a
don't know
good
what that is.
point.
But should have explained that in the notes, but you know.
So they are still seeing urgent reports. In 2024, about 50 reports a day were marked as urgent, and 84% of the reports were received outside of the US. And by far, the most reported category is child pornography. So NCMEC also has a page dedicated to missing children, which is how the organization got its start. So they keep all current Amber Alerts on their page and missing children posters. They also have an area to try and help give children their names back when unidentified children's remains are found. They also have the Adam program, which is a newsletter that you can sign up for that will send out alerts and posters when kids go missing. It is free and available to individuals and businesses. It's common to see these out somewhere, like at a Walmart that they'll have posted up, on that board as you're coming in.
Yeah, I feel like they would always have it. Like I don't know if I see it as much. I just don't really go to Walmart as much, but I remember
Yeah.
always seeing kind of that board where it's like all the different missing children.
Yeah. So they also have a detailed checklist of what to do if you believe your child is missing. So this is a great resource to review before you are in that state of emergency. So information that you can know ahead of time and not have to be seeking it out like during a crisis. But this resource tells you where to search, what to do, what to say to law enforcement, plus demands that you can make. And you can also call the NCMEC call center who will assist you. So they help create posters and connect families to law enforcement and local support groups. So, as Courtney mentioned earlier, a big topic of conversation at CrimeCon was about AI and generating AI images of child sexual exploitation. So, some of these new images that are emerging are not actual children. So, this is now an added layer for law enforcement. So, they now have to review these AI images and have to determine, is this a real child who is in danger, or is this an AI image that someone created and it's just using all this extra work and resources to be able to make those determinations. So the Child Rescue Coalition is a nonprofit that rescues children from sexual abuse by building technology for law enforcement free of charge to identify, arrest, and prosecute child predators. They are working closely with NCMEC to help reduce child exploitation. And when we were at CrimeCon, we did get to see a real-time look at their technology. So they had a map of the United States, or no, of the world. They had a map of the world up on the screen at the beginning of the presentation. And then as they were going throughout, you would see these dots pop up in real time of where people were accessing child pornography. So it was a very eye-opening kind of visual to have
Yeah.
displayed as they were talking.
Yeah. And it was also talking about these could also be people talking to children also. Different
Yeah,
all kinds of
predators.
yeah, where it's, different kind of things.
Yeah. So again, it was kind of identifying areas where child predators are downloading, sharing explicit content online, communicating with children, just engaging with them in an inappropriate way. And this technology is shared with law enforcement to help continue to take down child predators. And they did share a statistic that one predator off the street can save 5 children. So one current piece of legislature in the pipeline is the Enforce Act. So this stands for Enhancing Necessary Federal Offenses Regarding Child Exploitation Act. So this would subject child predators who are using AI to create or distribute child sexual abuse material to the same laws and penalty as those who create or distribute other forms of child sexual abuse material. So this is an effort to protect children from these new emerging AI generated images. Because again, it's taking away resources from being able to identify real children, because essentially you're trying to identify someone who may not exist, and you are still creating something that is exploiting children in general, and you are sharing it with people who are consuming it with the intent that they think this is a real child.
And they can also, with AI, like they can go to your Facebook page and take a picture of your child and
Mm-hmm.
make it into an sexually explicit thing. So it's not even like, are these children real? It's like, are these children actually in danger? Is this
Yeah.
actually happening to them? Or
Mm-hmm.
is this just someone? And so it's kind of like also targeting that. Like if you go and use these photos to create these AI generated images, it will now also be
Mm-hmm.
punishable, which it
Yeah.
should be because come on now.
Absolutely. And obviously, it's still harming a child whose image is being created
Hmm.
that, even though they have not experienced any kind of physical sexual abuse, like their picture has now been turned into this explicit image with their
Yeah.
face. And obviously, that is still doing a great harm to them and again should be treated as the same.
Hmm.
So, this is on the heels of the Take It Down Act, which protects children from the threat of AI generated material. And the Enforce Act would update outdated definitions and enhance federal enforcement policies, ensuring that law enforcement can prosecute offenders to the fullest extent of the law. So, it has been introduced, but we cannot find any further updates on it at this time. So, NCMEC continues to fight for children to all have a safe childhood. It is the largest and most influential child protection organization, and their call center is available at all times for support. You just need to call 1 800 The Lost or 1 800 843 5678. They do provide hundreds of resources, so we could, sit here all day and talk about them and go through one by one, but please just explore their website at missingkids.org and take a look at everything they have to offer. And also, if you have the means, it would be wonderful if you could volunteer or donate to assist them with this cause.
Yeah. It was their website has so much stuff, and I didn't want to just go
Mm-hmm.
through and like read their whole website because
Yeah.
then people wouldn't listen. But just trying to highlight kind of like what else they do because I feel like I always think of them as like missing kids. I don't think about the
Mm-hmm.
exploited part as much,
Yeah.
like what they're doing to help with that and like raise awareness and all of that. So I
Yeah,
think
me
it's
too.
really
Like,
great.
yeah, absolutely. And anytime I think of NCMEC, it's like, oh, like their database of missing children. Like you
Mm-hmm.
find a body or you find a live child who doesn't know where they belong. It's like, oh, we're searching NCMEC. And so that is kind of my historical understanding of them as well. And yeah, I didn't think too much about the exploitation side of it and what they are doing for those children and those families. And again, they are doing a lot of amazing work and have a lot of really good resources that are out there that anyone could benefit from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's everything. Not everything, because there's plenty more to know, but everything that, we're here to share at this time about the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC.
Yeah, you're about to go into Christmas and you can go share this resource, print it out, and give
Yeah.
it to your nieces and nephews as Christmas presents. They'll be so happy. That's all you got them.
They're like, thanks, Auntie. Okay.
Oh, Aunt's a drunk again. Okay. But yeah.
Yeah, so at least we didn't have to have an awkward transition this week because we didn't, dive too deep into any
It's
one situation. But
it's like a heavy scenario, but we didn't
yeah,
have to like deep dive into like a heavy
exactly.
situation.
Yes, yes. So, that being said, Courtney, what is your perk of the week?
So my perk of the week is this past weekend. Kevin and I went to St. Louis for the first time. So
Hmm.
um, we went for a concert. This band we really like is going on hiatus. I'm after the show scared they're never getting back together after
Oh
some of their
no.
speeches. But
Oh, yikes.
it was their, last show for the foreseeable future, basically. And yeah, it was such a good show, such a good time. St. Louis was, I mean, it was nice. I mean, I feel like St. Louis gets kind of a bad rap. I never felt unsafe or anything.
Hmm.
Their downtown kind of sucked, but
Mm-mm. Oh
um,
no. How was the arch?
it was fine. I did not go up
Oh,
in it because
okay. Yeah.
fuck that. I'm not going up. Well, they showed you like what you're sitting in, and it is like tight.
Mm. No
It was also
thanks.
like $30 a person, and I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
So the arch was cool, but like the downtown area was just kind of like the na it was It makes me think of like Charlotte, where you go and you're like
Mm-hmm.
the downtown's kind of lame, but these neighborhoods are like
Mm.
really cool kind
Yeah,
of thing.
gotcha.
Um, but there was also, I guess, some racing thing in town.
Okay.
There was some interesting people all around us.
Fun,
We when we
fun.
went into the bathroom at the Arches, because we had to pee. I came out and Kevin goes, "There was just this guy in the bathroom talking about how nobody actually died of COVID."
Oh, okay, cool,
And then
cool.
he said the guy tried to look at me, and I was just like,
Mm,
so. Um,
fun.
yeah, it was an odd group, but like the neighborhood we stayed in was like kind of cute. Like we walked to like a store or whatever and kind of got to see, and it looked was like really nice or whatever. But didn't get to explore too much. We were there for like 12 hours and then back on the road because it's like a 7 hour drive. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was fun and always love an adventure with Kevin because we always find something fun, do something fun. I did go to a bakery because I looked up what St. Louis is known for. It's apparently gooey butter cake.
Oh, okay.
Don't know. It's fine. I got some from the bakery. I mean, it's not bad, but it's
I hear
not
a lot
like
of fine. At least the concert was great. Everything else was just
yeah.
fine.
Well, me and Kevin always rate stuff on like, could we live here? And like we were like,
Mm,
yes.
yeah.
I mean, I would still
Not.
pick it over a couple places. But it wasn't like this place is great. It was just kind of
Yeah.
felt like we also didn't have time to like explore a lot. So like just
Yeah.
kind of the highlights we saw. But I will say from this bakery, I didn't want to just get that. I got something else. And it was this apple Danish. One of the best baked goods I've ever had in my life.
I love an
Should
apple Danish. That sounds
was
delicious.
it was like this big.
Oh my gosh.
It was huge. So I was like eating it in slices, but
Yeah.
it was like a cinnamon apple in the middle and it had like an icing on
Mm,
top and like something
yum.
about the pastry was just like the best flavor of a pastry I've ever had. Anyway, it was very good.
It sounds
They
very
also
good.
are known for toasted ravioli. But
Interesting. Okay.
the inside of the ravioli isn't cheese. It's like meat. So it was very good.
Okay.
So I will say that about them. I like those things. But no offense to St. Louis. You were great. I'm not saying anything like
All of our St.
but
Louis listeners are writing in as we speak.
well, at least we're not morbid and calling it St. Louis.
That
So
is true. That is true. It could be worse.
no, but I mean we'll definitely go back because we want to go to like a game or whatever. And
hmm
the Anheuser-Busch brewery was like really cool and
Mm,
stuff like that.
hmm
But yeah, that's that's my perk of the week.
Nice.
Jacqueline, what's your perk of the week?
So I also went to a concert in a city that has Lewis in it, which is such a weird thing. But this past weekend we went to a concert in Louisville. So we saw Billy Strings and it was amazing, just a great show. And I thought Louisville was a really cool city. I'd never been before, and it was a neat little city. No, you disagree?
I hate Louisville. I would live
Really?
in St. Louis over Louisville.
I don't know. I thought it was neat. I thought it was like a cute little place and had some fun
It's
things to
fine.
do. We took our kids to the Science Museum. That was a good time. Again, we also were not there for a long time period. You know, we
Yeah,
literally
you were
got
doing all the
in.
kids stuff. If you're, you
Yeah.
know.
What else is there to do? There's nothing else. Um, so yeah, but that was my perk of the week. We just had a nice little short weekend. But had a fun time. Get to see some music. My kids were great in the car, which was surprising. So that's always
Nice.
a plus. But yeah, nice little brief getaway.
Yeah. One cool thing I have done in Louisville is they have lights under Louisville. So it's this cave
Mm.
that you can drive through.
We
It's
did
very
look at
cool.
that, and then we decided to go to the Science Museum instead. So,
I would have, well, I don't know. I don't have kids, but I would have definitely, I did the lights under Louisville by myself in the car and it was amazing. It was so cool because they
yeah.
have like Frozen and they have like, it's what Shadrach's wishes they were in, but it's
hmm
like a cave. So it's like each has a different room. Like it's not
Mm,
overlapping. Like it's
yeah.
really cool. But there's been a few cool places in Louisville, but that's also a place there downtown is like terrible. Terrible. I think they have like, I think it's like Bardstown Road is like their cool like
Mm.
hangout spot. But yeah.
Well, so we didn't stay in Louisville. We stayed in Jeffersonville, Indiana. And so like that was a cute little area. So maybe I liked that area like more than Louisville because we just drove
Yeah.
across the bridge to
Yeah,
like
go
go to the
walk down
concert.
downtown Louisville for a little bit when it's getting dark and then
Yeah, no. Well, we walked, I mean like we were at the KSC Yum Center is where the concert was. So like we walked back to our car from that and it
yeah.
was fine. Um It was a happening place though, but it was just all the people leaving the Billy Strings concert, so everyone was just high as shit and having a good time. So maybe
Yeah.
that's why I was having such a good
Yeah.
time.
Um,
Maybe that secondhand high
See,
was hitting more than I
Louisville is
thought.
also where I was in an Airbnb, and I was like, man, it sucks that the bar underneath
Mm,
is closed because of COVID. And it was like, no, it didn't close because of COVID. It closed because the owner was sexually assaulting all of his employees and they all walked out.
hmm
And oh, by the way, he lives above us. So,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
also where we were like trying to walk to places, but like we talked to a guy who lives there and he was like, yeah, you just don't go downtown. Like that's not where people go
Yeah.
and hang out. Like it's not like it's like terrible, but that's not where
No,
like
yeah.
fun things are. But like when we were there, it was like everything was boarded up, like everything.
Mm.
And we're like, is this
Oh yeah,
COVID? Is this the
that was
town? I
not our
don't know.
experience at all. So, but
We stayed in
yeah.
Indiana, so
Yeah, I was like Jeffersonville, Indiana, though, was a very cute little place. I do recommend that. We were able to walk to get breakfast, which I don't know if you saw our picture, but we ate at Geraldine's Kitchen, which was my
I
Nana's
saw
name.
Gail post about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we saw that, we're like, okay, well, we have to go there. So we went and had breakfast there, and it was a cute little place. But yeah, so Jeffersonville, Indiana is my recommendation.
No offense to our Louisville listeners. I'm sure there's some fun stuff there, but
Yeah. The Science
yeah.
Museum, like I said, was a good time. We we had a great time, all of us, adults included. So,
Nice.
um, so yeah, you know where to find us on all the places, all the things. Again, we will put these resources for NCMEC in the show notes as well. As always, 5-star reviews, a thumbs up, rate our episodes, tell us you like us and we're pretty. I don't know, all those things. Um,
And now that we've like thoroughly offended St. Louis, Louisville, the people of the racing community, join us on patreon.com if you could spend some money to support us. You can get access to our Discord. We have like 60 something bonuses over there. It's just a fun time. We have a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's at patreon.com/caffeinated crimes. And yeah, everyone have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Kwanzaa,
Yes.
a Happy New Year's, whatever holiday you celebrate. I think Hanukkah,
Winter
we
solstice,
winter solstice. Hanukkah is kind of pat. I don't know. I don't remember how many nights of Hanukkah I bought. 12? 12. It's 12.
8?
It's 8.
I don't.
I don't know. What's the Adam Sandler movie?
Hold
Eight
on,
Crazy Nights or 12 Crazy?
let's
Eight Crazy Nights?
let's go to Google.
I think it's Eight Crazy Nights. That movie made me cry, by the way. I don't know if anyone's seen it.
I have
Kevin was like,
not
there's
seen
this really
that.
funny movie, and then I bawled my eyes out.
It is 8, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Eight Crazy Nights. Yeah.
Yes.
So Hanukkah is over, but hope you had a happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year. And we'll see you in 2026. So
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. So
Crazy.
go have a cup of coffee.
And don't commit a crime.